Allez, on pousse CV à gauche. Et phoque à gauche, pousse CV à gauche. Phoque à droite le phoque. Tiens les gars, poussez-les de l'autre côté là. Non, là, c'est n'importe quoi. Mais de l'autre côté, porte d'AGV Greg, fais quelque chose s'il te plaît. Les bords d'AGV en normal. C'est délire là les gars.
Cut, Jib.
C'est complètement inactif.
Flag. Windward
Ouais,
boy.
faut réagir, mais comment dire. Vas-y, reprends vite.
One and
On
up.
aurait pu te sauver le truc. Hein. Allez, bon, s'il te plaît.
Okay. Best trim, guys. Best trim. Best
So we
trim.
do have Mathieu Richard carrying a penalty for that that move where Swinton went across the stern and jibed into him.
And come up to see this, Mathieu Richard leading round the first top mark. Here we go, Mathieu Richard with the turn.
Good call, Simon.
And I tell you what, there's absolutely no doubt that he's going to cross Keith Swinton here.
No, what a good move.
And here we go, the attack the other way. Mathieu Richard caught on the back foot at the top, and again it's Swinton with the attack, pressing down.
Nice
this is
jibe.
to keep his Apari World Match Racing Tour hopes alive. And I tell you what,
He's
he is
rolling
faster than Mathieu Richard now. The bow is coming up on board Mathieu Richard, and he's trying to defend. Now this is key. Mathieu Richard trying to set the spinnaker as his air clears out behind. He needs to try and stop Swinton being able to jibe. He has to stay close enough. If Swinton is able to get enough distance to get that jibe in, and Mathieu Richard, I think, has really handed this to Swinton in these final few lengths, just not reading that jibe set at the top. We know how key the current is on that left-hand side of the race
Or even
course.
being able to go as soon as he realized Swinton was going to go, and he hesitated for maybe 2 seconds, a second and a half, and that was enough for Swinton to start bringing the dirty air down to him. What a great job of downwind sailing from Keith Swinton, Black Swan Racing.
We can talk about Carl Langford's there, got his eye on the finish, and you know what? For me, they're on ley line for the finish line now on port, and so yeah,
Right, so you
words
can
of
hear
Carl
constantly.
Langford.
Happy to keep sending it this way and then lead him right back to the finish. You can see trying to send back the dirt. Trying to send back the dirt.
They know this is it. They've got to somehow be able to roll across the front. They're putting the bow down. Mathieu Richard, is he going to get across the front?
Guys, atrocious.
There we go
through it.
now. Mathieu Richard has turned this
on,
around.
Ted. You
He
can
has
do better
spun
than that.
around the front.
Two.
And look at that, the masterclass. Greg with the pump on the mainsail.
I'll tell you
Throwing
what,
the dirty air
it's not
back
over
and-
yet though, mate. It's not over yet because here comes Swinton, and he's going to try and do the same thing. So this is, I mean, jibe for jibe, pass for pass, matching each other. Great action from our second match of this almost final flight.
And this is do or die. And we can see the finish line looming. Keith Swinton trying to come back by Mathieu Richard, but all the time the Frenchman, he is marching down towards the bottom of the course. And Keith Swinton, look at that. His shoulders are falling.
What a turnaround, looking so strong. And I think Richard, like you said, maybe a little too calm and smooth. He was smooth there.
And look at
until he
it,
had
they
to
can't
be-
believe it. They had that race, they mounted. I mean, that was some of the finest sailing in the top 2/3 of that run that I've seen from Keith Swinton all year. They got to the position, and then Mathieu Richard, almost like he didn't blink, you know, and he just pushed all his chips right in on the roll, knew when he had to deliver, pushed it through, and look at him.
Yeah, it was a really good race with Richard. We did a good job in the pre-start and we got a penalty on him. But then we were a little bit behind off the start line, so we just kept it close. And but unfortunately, he managed to get away from us a bit on the second upwind leg. And then he did his penalty and was just ahead of us. But then we did a really good spinnaker hoist and we caught right up and we actually overtook him about halfway down the final downwind, so we were looking really good, and unfortunately we didn't have the greatest jibe after we'd rolled him, and he managed to actually do the same thing back to us, which we did to him earlier. Once he got over the top of us, we were pretty much dead in the water, so he did a really good job